Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news, Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometowncchevy.com.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning-fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber. Simply brilliant.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery, tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
I'm Tyler. And I'm James. We want to thank you for continuing to make the Root Sports and Fitness Center your headquarters for youth sports in Southern Ohio.
Well, good evening and happy Valentine's Day from Highland County. We've got some Saturday night shaction coming your way from Leesburg here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health, as the 11-6 Fairfield Lions play host to the 17-2 Peebles Indians on the eve of the state tournament draw coming up tomorrow afternoon. Welcome into Fairfield High School, everyone. Carson Francis and Shane Combs back with you tonight. Shane, here's a look at what's at stake tonight, because tournament seeds are all but locked up. Still a lot to play for tonight. Peebles, with a win, can clinch a share of the Shack 2 title. Fayetteville clinched their share last night with the win over Manchester. Now Peebles can get their hands on the title with a win tonight. Fairfield cannot win the title, but they can certainly play spoiler on their home floor tonight as they look to do that against the Indians.
Well, no question. I always say it when I get the privilege of coming down to the Shack to call basketball. They certainly love their basketball in this area, and big-time atmospheres, big-time matchups. And as you said, with that on the line tonight here on Valentine's Day, what's more romantic than a great Saturday night in a high school gym packed with a great matchup?
We were talking just before we went live about the RPI rankings. Peebles should have the #1 seed in Division 6 locked up. They will have an automatic bye into the district semifinal, so their first tournament game would not be until March 2nd at the Waverly Downtown Gym. For Fairfield, they're currently sitting at the 3rd spot in the Division 7 bracket. If the tournament were to start today, according to the rankings right now, they would host Federal Hocking in the opening round of the D7 tournament. But both these teams are focused on coming in here and getting another win to bolster their league record. Peebles, again, looking for a share of that league title. They had a spell in the middle of January where they lost 2 back-to-back close ones to Eastern Brown and then to Fayetteville. Fayetteville they later got revenge on and split the season series with them. But now the Indians have a chance to tie the Rockets tonight for the Shack 2 title. They've won 9 in a row. They're red hot.
Oh, there's no question about it. Peebles, big-time talent on the offensive end. They can really share the basketball, and they can really, really score. At times, they can almost overwhelm you in terms of the amount of points they can put on the board, and it makes it difficult for opponents to play at that pace. But I think what's interesting about tonight's matchup, Fairfield is elite at guard. In terms of guard play, with Friend leading the offense there at the point, and they're usually pretty good at recognizing the tempo they want to play, and I think that'll be the chess match tonight to see who can kind of win out in tempo.
The player to watch for the Indians is the sophomore Bo Johnson, averaging around 16 points a night. Put up as many as 26 on the season, including earlier this week in a runaway win over Ross County Christian Academy. Put up 26 points and knocked down 5 shots from beyond the arc.
Yeah, big-time shooter, 80% from the free throw line, but then what impresses you is the guard position. Shoots it up around 60% from the floor, including 49% from three. So obviously got to make him put it on the floor and be ready to help in the dribble gap, but certainly can't give him space to let him shoot it.
Now looking on the other side, the Fairfield Lions coming in at 11-6. The 3-time defending SHAC champions. That streak will come to an end this season, but as I mentioned, certainly still a lot to play for tonight for the Lions, coming off a win last night over White Oak, a wire-to-wire win in which they led by as many as 23. They've got some guys top to bottom that are just capable of going out there and making plays for Coach Quentin Williams.
Yeah, no question. I love their backcourt. I was talking about Friend at the point guard a second ago. He's kind of, Carson, I would say he's a mix of an old school, new school point guard. He has some of that old school in terms of coach on the floor, point people in the right direction, assist the turnover up around 2-1, almost 3-1. But at the same time, in the modern day game, he can also score the basketball for you. Averages around 17 a game. And then his backcourt mate, Brody Smith, if you haven't had a chance to see Fairfield play this year, he's big-time scorer. He can create his own shot from the three-point line, and he, too, shoots it pretty efficiently. So I've watched him several times really get off early and have some big nights.
And Peebles definitely going to have their work cut out for them on the glass, stopping Quentin McIntosh from grabbing rebounds. He averages 10 rebounds a night, including a season high of 17 in a win over Lynchburg Clay.
Obviously has size and strength, but beyond that, I think he has such a great motor. I love how hard he plays. He doesn't take plays off. Good defender, works hard on the help side, and then, as you said, on both ends, defense and offense, certainly gets to the glass.
I mentioned earlier Fairfield, led by head coach Quentin Williams, took over when Josh Howland left in 2022 to become the head coach at Hillsborough. All he's done at Fairfield is win. Led them to a 24-1 record in his first season, a district title in 2024. He's a 2-time Southeast District Coach of the Year. Certainly brought a lot to the table in his early coaching days here at Fairfield. Has them in a great spot to start his coaching career.
Yeah, no question. Outstanding energy brings to the sideline. You can see his kids take on his personality in terms of how hard they play, and the community's rallied around it. I've been more than impressed with what I've watched this program do here in recent years. And when you turn the film on this year, you see a group that executes well, see a group that plays really, really hard. And as you said, as they started to win some titles, they haven't been afraid in the non-league to go out and challenge themselves, and that's been showing up this year as well.
On the other hand, Peebles, under the direction of head coach Josh Airy, who's been at the helm since 2010, he's seen a lot of winning down in Peebles over his time. The last few years have been kind of rough for the Indians, but Coach Airy's gotten his team back in the right direction. Really started at the end of last year when, as the 11 seed, the Indians made it all the way to the Convo before losing in the district final. Peebles is right back where they want to be as a program, looking to continue that tonight and then going forward into the postseason.
Yeah, no question about it. I've known Josh a long time, outstanding leader of young men, and that leadership has really been able to show up in the last couple of years. Obviously, Peebles is used to winning at a high level. As you said, they started down a little bit of a valley there, but they weren't there very long. And I agree with you. The little run there at the end of last year has really started to jumpstart this year. And this is a big-time group with a lot of talent. And when you look up and down the roster, there's plenty of it coming back. So people need to get used to Peebles basketball being back on top here a little bit.
Peebles and Fairfield set to do battle on this Valentine's Day evening here in Highland County. The Indians look to take home a share of the SHAC 2 title. It's Peebles and Fairfield. The first time these two met, Peebles needed overtime to come out on top. We'll see what happens the second time around here in Leesburg. We'll step aside for the national anthem and come back for the player introductions and tip-off between the Lions and Indians here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber. Simply brilliant.
Back here at Fairfield High School, getting ready for the beginning of this Shack 2 showdown between the Peebles Indians and the Fairfield Lions. Peebles coming in at 17-2, winners of 9 straight. Fairfield coming in at 11-6. Had a pretty stacked week, took Unioto down to the wire on Tuesday before getting a league win last night here at home against White Oak.
Yeah, no question about it. Had a chance to watch the Unioto game on film, and look, I was real impressed. The ability for 32 minutes to just kind of hang in there against the Unioto pressure. There was 3 or 4 times during that second half where they could have went away, and they simply didn't, and got himself all the way down with a chance late there. So that's a little bit of what I'm referring to about testing in the non-league there, and being a D7 school getting ready locked in for this second season coming up.
Now we'll get ready to get a look at the starting lineup for the Peebles Indians. We'll have our cheerleaders introduced, but again, Peebles looking for a share of the Shack 2 title. They have 1 game remaining in the regular season, a makeup game against Western next weekend before they will have a bye in the Division 6 tournament should that number 1 spot hold, which, if barring any unforeseen circumstances, it should. They'll have a bye into the district semifinal in the postseason. Now we'll have a look at the starting lineup now for the Peebles Indians, led by head coach Josh Airy. Grady Canelti, Bo Johnson, Paxton Ryan, Josh McClary, and Keegan Puckett, the first 5 for the Indians. And now a look at Quentin Williams' Fairfield Lions. ESPN night in the Fairfield student section. They got their own little broadcast booth over there for this one. Getting ready to cheer on their Lions for a big league win. And now the starters for the Lions: Brody Smith, Caleb Rice, Griffin Friend, Zane Azarak, and Quentin McIntosh. Good crowd on hand here in Leesburg for a big-time league showdown. Always what you want to see late in the season. League implications on the line. Should be in for a good one tonight in Highland County, Shane.
Yeah, no question. Great fan bases down here in the shack. And as you said, the students locked and loaded for a good one. Looks like Jersey night over there tonight.
Quentin McIntosh standing in the jump ball circle with the freshman Keegan Puckett. Valentine's Day Shaction coming your way from Leesburg. McIntosh tips it to Griffin Friend. Fairfield has the first possession as we're underway from Leesburg.
Peebles going to match up man-to-man on the opening possession.
McIntosh on the drive gets fouled, and an offensive foul, and it'll go right to Peebles.
Yeah, tough foul right off the bat there, because again, you're not talking about a real deep team. Said that he kind of hooked him a little bit and going to go the other way.
McIntosh tagged with the foul. 12 seconds into the game. Lions already give up a possession. We'll have a stoppage in play just to clarify what exactly the foul was. And we're right back to action. Grady Canelti gets it into Keegan Puckett in the half court. Josh McClary averaging around 13 a night, gives it over to their leading scorer, Bo Johnson. Johnson tried to dish it to Puckett, and it's taken away. McIntosh there with the steal. Friend up the floor to Brody Smith. Lions working around the perimeter. Rice comes off the screen, dishes it to Azrak. Now Brody Smith, he'll back it out. Straight man-to-man for the Indians. There's Friend at the elbow, kicks it out. Caleb Rice in the corner. Rice, he'll drive baseline. Rice jump stops, nice dish. Azrak puts it up and can't finish. Puckett the rebound.
Great patience from Rice. Got his teammate a good look, just couldn't get it to go down.
Josh McClary thought about launching the three. Comes off the screen, dishes to Canelti inside. Canelti back out to McClary. McClary from downtown off the mark. Friend chases down the rebound.
Both these teams run a lot of ball screens, so the ball screen defense is going to be a big factor here tonight. So far, both teams have been pretty good.
Zach Azrak dishes to Griffin Friend. Brody Smith with it now, the leading scorer for Fairfield. Here's Caleb Rice, skips it back out. Smith for three, off the mark. McIntosh the offensive rebound. Friend from the corner knocks down the triple. First points of the night go to Fairfield. Griffin Friend cashes in from downtown.
Carson, you asked me about McIntosh there in the opener. He was going to the offensive glass there to win his team an extra possession.
Peebles trying to answer now. Here's Josh McClary far side. McClary trying to get downhill, lost the handle. Gets it back in the corner, tried to get it over to Grady Canelti. It's deflected out of bounds by Friend.
Yeah, nice job, Fairfield, getting the ball to one side and keeping it there. It really closes the court. Peebles is so good offensively that when they're able to spread the court and share it, the ball's going to find someone who has proven they can really score it at the varsity level.
Canelti to inbound in front of Fairfield's bench. Tried to get it into McClary, taken away. Brody Smith to the basket and the finish. Steal and score, Brody Smith. Lions off to a 5-0 start.
Yeah, big-time offensive player, able to use his defense to go get an easy early one. Let's see what that makes for a night for Smith.
Keegan Puckett, the freshman, driving. Picks up his dribble. Good defense by McIntosh. Now Bo Johnson with it. Out to McClary. Johnson, near side wing, off the screen. Johnson pulls up from the foul line and gets the bounce on the jumper. Bo Johnson picks up the first two for Peebles.
Yeah, tough shot, but because of his shooting touch, the ball up on the rim, able to fall.
There's a long three-pointer on the other end from Smith off the front iron. Long rebound won by Grady Canelti. On McClary, far side wing. Working on Azrak. Dishes it out, Canelti for three, no good. And Rice tried to corral the rebound. It's off his hands and out of bounds. It'll stay right here with Peebles.
Yeah, so far defense been pretty good on both ends. Good ball pressure. Some teams settling for the three a little bit, unable to get it to fall other than the early three from Friend.
Bo Johnson stands at the logo for Peebles. Johnson on the drive, goes up, and it's deflected by Quentin McIntosh. It'll stay with Peebles. But the defensive presence down low from McIntosh alters the possession.
Yeah, no question. Has to be careful after that early foul.
Paxton Ryan stands near side. Skip pass over to McClary for three, off the mark. McIntosh holding in the rebound for Fairfield.
Carson, I think that early foul, when it went back to the scores table, I think it went to Smith, not McIntosh.
Jumper connects from Griffin Friend. Second basket of the night, 7-2 lead for the Lions. Johnson, the runner, off the mark. Rebound taken by Brody Smith. Smith pushing it up the floor for the Lions. The Euro step, Smith off the glass, won't go. McClary brings it up the floor for Peebles. A long three-pointer from Puckett, off the mark. Griffin Friend with it now for Fairfield across the timeline. Friend to the basket, through traffic, tough finish by Griffin Friend.
Yeah, Friend off to a great start here with 7 in the early going. Got to love the energy here early if you're the home team.
Josh Airy's going to want a timeout to talk things over. A 9-2 run for the Lions to start things off. We'll keep it here. Shane, a hot start for the Lions. Griffin Friend with 7 of his team's 9.
Yeah, and he's getting a variety of ways. He's got the early three off the McIntosh offensive rebound, and then obviously in transition there a little bit. Just to clarify what we were talking about, remember how they had gone back over to the scores table. Looking at the board there, it looked like instead of McIntosh getting called for the hook, they got Smith on this actual screen. So obviously both of them very, very important. The reason I mentioned that early is Fairfield, watching them this year, not a real deep team. They'll spot a 6th kid, maybe a 7th kid, but they count on the top 5 to play a lot of minutes.
Also just gives Quentin McIntosh a little more leeway to play aggressively on the defensive end and going for those rebounds. As we obviously look for him to do that all throughout the night.
Probably easier for the guard Smith to play through foul trouble. I agree with you there.
Connor Gross subbed in for Peebles during the timeout. Paxton Ryan drives to the top of the key, dishes it out to Connor Gross. Gross driving middle, kicks it out to Bo Johnson. Johnson pump fake, brings it out of the corner. Now Puckett off the screen from Johnson. Puckett trying to get past McIntosh. Handoff, Paxton Ryan launches the triple, and it's nothing but net. Paxton Ryan with confidence. Connects from three-point range.
Yeah, can't go underneath ball screens or handoffs against this Peebles team. They have way too many guys with way too much range.
Friend gets downhill. Friend puts it off the glass. That won't go. McIntosh there for the putback. Peebles quickly back up the floor. Paxton Ryan launches a triple to no avail. Brody Smith picks up the loose ball. Smith on the other end, tied up, and he'll head to the line for 2 shots.
Outstanding pace to the game so far. I would think in my preparation for 32 minutes, it would favor Peebles. But Fairfield is a group that will pick and choose its spots to run, and that'll just be something they'll have to kind of feel throughout the night to see how fast they want to play.
Brody Smith, a 70% free throw shooter on the year, knocks down his first one of the night. Brody Smith, the leading scorer for the Lions, averaging around 20 a night. Goes 1 for 2 from the stripe there. Long rebound, won by Bo Johnson. Peebles quickly gets it up the floor. Connor Gross in the corner. Gross the drive. Nice dish to Puckett. Puckett puts it up off the glass and in.
Yeah, poor transition from Fairfield that time. Peebles spaced the floor really well in secondary break.
Fairfield now quickly getting it into their half court. Griffin Friend on the drive, got it poked away and taken by the Indians. Puckett recovers the loose ball.
Yeah, Ryan in the dribble gap, got his hands in there. Nice job of helping on the drive.
Grows across half court over to Paxton Ryan. The Indians lost back-to-back to Eastern Brown and Fayetteville in January. They've won 9 straight since. Paxton Ryan unsuccessful on the triple, and the long rebound corralled by Azarack.
Yeah, good look at it. I love to watch the Peebles shooters work away from the ball. They really run hard and come off screens well.
Caleb Rice, handoff to Brody Smith. Smith kicks it back out to Rice. Rice, 4-3, it's good. Caleb Rice connecting from downtown, lead up to 8.
Yeah, such an X factor for Fairfield. When you watch him throughout the year, when he shoots it well, boy, does that spread the court for Friend and Smith. That's a good sign for the Lions.
Colin Sims into the game now for Peebles. It's Keegan Puckett one-on-one with McIntosh. McIntosh guarding him tightly. Here's a 3 from Bo Johnson, nothing but net. Bo Johnson, the sophomore, connects from outside.
You won't have to beg the Peebles kids to keep shooting, even with the slow start, back to within 5.
Lions trying to answer, not in any hurry. Some tight defense being played by the Indians. Here's Smith trying to go baseline, gets it out to Griffin Friend at the volleyball line.
Sims giving a really nice effort defensively on
Friend,
Smith.
pull up 3, it's good. Griffin Friend from downtown. He's got 10 already. Here is a foul on the other end. They'll send Bo Johnson to the foul line. Or no, they're going to say it's on Peebles.
Travel, I believe, is what they called. I think, obviously, the crowd here, we're on the visitor side tonight. They didn't agree with the call. I think what probably saved the foul call was the ability to show the official the hands. Did a good job of not putting the hands down.
Griffin Friend walking it up the floor already in double figures tonight for Fairfield. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Caleb Rice, far side wing. And an offensive foul on the Lions.
Got the offense. I didn't see the number they've got.
It'll be on Griffin Friend, his first of the night. Peebles will have the last possession of the quarter, 7 seconds. Johnson across half court, 3 seconds. Johnson to the basket, off the glass, won't go. And the tip-in will count. Peebles gets a late basket at the buzzer, but Fairfield ahead 18-12 at the end of the first quarter here in Leesburg. You're watching Ohio High School basketball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
Second quarter from Fairfield High School coming your way. The Lions are out to an 18-12 lead on Peebles. A putback at the buzzer by Colin Sims shifts into the deficit for the Indians, but a hot start from the Lions here in the first.
Yeah, no question. Great energy, doing a nice job on guarding the perimeter, trying to push the shooters off the line a little bit. And if you're Peebles with the first possession, like to get a good look here and cut into this lead.
Connor Gross brings it up the floor, tried to dish it into Grady Canelti, and they're going to get a foul on Fairfield. Guarding Canelti, the intended recipient of that pass.
Yeah, McIntosh, easy call there. McIntosh was beat on the little curl, almost shuffle type cut. He just grabbed him and held him up. Good call.
High 4 cross set for Peebles. McClary from downtown knocks it down. Josh McClary fires on the triple and hits it.
Yeah, such big-time shooters on the Peebles side. Can't let down at all. Every possession, got to push the shooters off the line.
Josh McClary, only a 36% three-point shooter. Lets it fly and succeeds on the first attempt of the second quarter. Griffin Friend comes off the screen, picks up his dribble, gives it over to Brody Smith. Smith got it knocked away out of bounds. Will stay with Fairfield. Some nice on-ball defense, quick hands by Colin Sims.
Yeah, got to be really careful if you're Fairfield on your ball screens here, especially with the official right in front of the Peebles bench. There's a lot of contact, a lot of arms and shoulders. Got to make sure you're still. You can't have the silly foul and turnover.
Friend to inbound, throws one up to Caleb Rice. Hands it back to Friend. Friend off the screen. Jump stops inside, and the Lions draw a foul.
Yeah, got him on the drive there. Just be on the, let's see if they put it underneath the free throw line and give OB under. It looks like that's what they're going to do.
Friend to inbound out of the box set for Fairfield. Finds McIntosh, opposite side block. Now a long three-pointer from Brody Smith. It's good. Brody Smith lets it fly and sinks it. Gross driving on the other end, kicks it out. Bo Johnson, the mid-range jumper, too short. Friend up the floor, Azarak to the basket, high off the glass and in. Transition bucket for the Lions, courtesy of Zach Azarak.
Yeah, nice contest of the shot on the one end, and with that missed opportunity, they got out and had numbers.
There's Johnson on the backdoor cut and finds the bottom of the net.
Yeah, Peebles can come back at you in a hurry.
Friend to the basket, can't finish the layup. Rebound McIntosh, back out to Friend, corner three off the mark. Rebound taken by Colin Sims for Peebles. Sims through traffic to the basket, got it knocked away, but not before he's fouled. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, they're going to get, I think, McIntosh there on the body, they're saying, as he went in and threw the contact.
McIntosh thought that the whistle might have come a little late, but nonetheless, Colin Sims will head to the line where he shoots 65% on the season.
Well, and that's his second foul. There was 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, so let's make note of that. 6:07, 23-17 Fairfield, with McIntosh going to have to go to the bench for a little while here.
Subs coming in on both sides. Landon Hoskins will check in for Fairfield. Paxton Ryan back onto the floor for Peebles. As Sims will go 0 for 2 from the line after the foul on McIntosh. Maybe a missed opportunity there for Peebles, as Grady Canelti will check back in.
Well, certainly missed opportunity to cut in the lead, but that's still a really, really big call. That's going to force Coach Williams into his bench here a little bit.
2 minutes into the second quarter, Fairfield ahead of Peebles by 6. Brody Smith came off the ball screen, got it knocked away, and they'll say he was the last to touch it. Another turnover forced by the Peebles defense.
Yeah, and as I watch Peebles throughout the year, they continue to get better and better with their pressure. They play so many people. They always seem to have some fresh energy on that defensive end, particularly in the first half, and they can really get after the ball.
Paxton Ryan feeds Puckett high post. Puckett trying to work on Friend. Gets it back out to Paxton Ryan. McClary driving through traffic. Paxton Ryan for 3 off the mark. And off the top of the backboard, out of bounds. Possession back to the Lions.
Yeah, still a pretty good look. I thought that was good patience from the freshman Puckett, not to force it, kick it back out.
Full court press being applied by Peebles. McClary picking up Friend one-on-one.
Carson, you'll notice the fresh body on Friend throughout the night. Friend averages about 31.5 minutes a night, so he doesn't come off the floor much.
And a timeout called by Quentin Williams, a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep things here. 5:12 remaining in the second quarter. Fairfield ahead of Peebles by 6. Shane, what have you liked from both sides here in the second quarter?
Well, I love the energy from Fairfield on the defensive end. I feel like they're doing a pretty good job of running with the Peebles shooters, but it's a situation where I think you just have to pay attention to the pace. Over the course of 32 minutes, are you deep enough, and do you have the ability to run up and down with people? So I think when you're Fairfield, you got to pick and choose your tempo. You got to pick and choose when you want to go and have opportunities. But then once you're into the scrimmage area, you got to be able to take care of the basketball, be clean with it, and make them work a little bit.
I want to give a quick shout out to our cameraman, Kenneth Hay, for being with us as always. Kenneth, been with us all year, does a great job behind the camera. He'll be on the air Thursday night for our live stream when we go watch RCCA take on Wellston in a makeup game at OUC. But just wanted to give our cameraman who's been with us all season some appreciation for his tremendous work as we approach the end of our basketball season.
No doubt about it, does a great job. I'm looking forward to being on the call with him there Thursday night with the Wellston RCCA.
Griffin Friend crosses half court for Fairfield. Friend on the drive, puts it up through contact, and he'll head to the foul line.
Yeah, just so good downhill. He just puts so much pressure on the officials and the defense. So strong as he comes up through. You know, when you watch him on film, you think he's maybe 6'6'1". You get in person, I don't know exactly what he's listed at. He looks more 6'2", 6'3".
Griffin Friend at the line, knocks down his first one. Bo Johnson back onto the floor for Peebles in place of Connor Gross. Friend's second shot, he knocks it through. 25-17, Fairfield leading Peebles. Paxton Ryan backs it out, gives it up to Grady Canelti. Now Bo Johnson off the screen from Canelti. Canelti posting up on Landon Hoskins. Canelti, baseline drive. Canelti puts it up off the glass. He'll head to the foul line for 2.
Yeah, such a great job of Peebles. They have weapons all over the court, and they just look for different matchups. It felt like Canelti in the post was able to use some size and quickness there, and he's able to get to the free throw line.
Grady Canelti, a starter on the Peebles squad last season that made it to the district final as an 11 seed, connects on his first one. Last season, Peebles went on the road to Southeastern round 1 of the tournament and upset the Panthers. They then knocked off another Cinderella team, the 14-seeded Huntington, in the district semifinal. McClary goes 2 for 2 at the stripe. Canelti, rather. Brody Smith off the ball screen, picked up by Canelti. Now Azarak, handoff to Griffin Friend. Friend one-on-one, skip pass over to Hoskins. Now Brody Smith. Azarak drives, spins at the elbow, gives it back out to Caleb Rice. Peebles trying to protect the paint. Smith, baseline drive, skip pass to Friend. It's out of bounds. I'll say it was off of Peebles. Fairfield will keep it.
Yeah, I kind of like the possession and the patience from Fairfield. It's kind of what I was talking about on the timeout. Then the key is, can you be clean enough to still get a good look out of it then, and the deflection there is going to save the possession. But yeah, I think if you don't have early offense, the ability to make Peebles work a little bit would really help in the long run tonight.
Brody Smith lost one up for Caleb Rice. Now Hoskins on the wing, gives it up to Griffin Friend. Friend off the screen, driving, gets fouled.
Yeah, right now Peebles just having a lot of trouble containing Friend off the dribble. The ball screen has helped. They're going to have to make a decision there if they're going to hedge it, switch it, drop coverage, whatever. But right now he's turning the corner at will.
Friend inbound again from the baseline for Fairfield. And a kick ball on the defense by Josh McClary.
Yeah, tried to get Rice there to the backside, and the kick probably saved an easy 2.
Friend will try again from the baseline, throws one up to Brody Smith. Smith working on Canelti. Smith crosses over, drives, puts it up, and he'll go to the foul line.
Yeah, I talked about Friend getting downhill. That time it was Smith, and contact on the scoop, and Smith's going to go back to the free throw line. He split a pair back in the first quarter. He has 5 here. 6, I'm sorry, in the early going.
Brody Smith, the junior. First shot pops in and out. Brody Smith last season averaged 16 points per game and helped Fairfield get back to the district final. He knocks down the second one there, 26-19. Keegan Puckett, the freshman, outside. Dishes to Canelti, high post, now Paxton Ryan in the corner. Ryan brings it to the top of the key, picks it up at the elbow. Puckett trying to work on Friend. Puckett puts it up, it's blocked. Friend got a hand on the shot from Puckett, full court pass. Hoskins pump fakes, puts it up, and knocks it through. Full court pass to Landon Hoskins for the inside bucket. McClary tried to answer with a 3, he's unsuccessful.
Yeah, how about the versatility of Friend? Your point guard's guarding the post down in the one end, gets a block shot, and then throws the assist out over the top. Friend really having a nice first half here.
Brody Smith in the corner to Caleb Rice. Now Smith launches a contested 3, it's no good. It's Josh McClary with the rebound for Peebles, quickly up the floor. McClary spins, fade away, connects on the jumper.
Tough
Josh
shot.
McClary able to answer right back with the turnaround J.
Yeah, now again, Peebles will go in a hurry. They're going to get a lot of possessions throughout the evening.
Friend on the drive, Friend off the glass, too short. Canelti the rebound, trying to throw it to Ryan, taken away by Rice. And Smith inside with the transition bucket.
Yeah, just got sloppy on the outlet, and Rice with a big-time hustle play.
And another takeaway by the Lions. Azarek up the floor, Brody Smith the layup.
That was Brody Smith that poked it away from behind there and then got out into the open court. Right now, Fairfield getting it done on the defensive end.
Timeout Peebles. Less than 2 minutes to go. This Fairfield crowd fired up for their home team. 32-21 Lions will take this timeout with Peebles. You're watching Ohio High School basketball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
A minute 59 to go till a halftime. Fairfield out to an 11-point lead on the Peebles Indians. It's been a showcase of turning defense to offense, getting steals, getting out in transition, and capitalizing on the other end for Fairfield.
Yeah, no question. And again, McIntosh sitting through all this in foul trouble. It allows Coach Williams not to have to play him with 2.
Colin Sims re-enters the game for Peebles. Sims has it, gives it up to Paxton Ryan. Ryan thought about the 3, skips it over Canelti. Canelti spins, he traveled.
Yeah, they'll let you get away with the spin a little bit, but as he went to the spin, he kind of cupped the ball there, and just a little bit of a hesitation that ended up drawing the travel call.
Just Caleb Rice bringing up the floor. Soft pressure being applied by the Indians. Now Sims there to meet Brody Smith at half court. Smith tried to hand it off to Rice, taken away by the Indians. Ryan to the basket, he stopped, and he traveled before the layup. Second straight turnover by the Indians.
Yeah, great play from Sims there to poke it free.
And they're not stopping the clock. I don't know how many people noticed that, but they just let about 15 seconds run off the clock. If you're Fairfield, probably not going to complain about that, as there's a foul against the Indians as Brody Smith hits the floor.
Well, the bonus situation is going to put him on the line. So again, if you're Peebles, through it all, just got to compose a little bit here and survive this second quarter. Smith going back to the line. He's had a big second quarter. I have him for 8 here in the quarter, 11 on the evening.
Brody Smith knocks down the first one.
Been really impressed with Smith on the defensive end. We've always known he can score. Tonight, really showing off his all-around game.
2 for 2 at the line goes Brody Smith. Fairfield with its largest lead of the night. Sims near side wing. Sims tried to throw it to Bo Johnson and throws it away instead. Johnson tried to cut back door. Sims couldn't read it. He throws it into the Fairfield bench.
Yeah, a little bit of Peebles youth showing up here in this atmosphere. It's been just kind of a blitz here in the second quarter. If you're Fairfield, you'd really like to take the last shot of the half if you could hold it that long and execute.
Caleb Rice backs it out to the volleyball line. Now Hoskins dishes over to Friend. Under 30 to go till halftime. Friend off the screen from Hoskins. Over to Caleb Rice. Now the handoff Brody Smith. Azarak over to Griffin Friend. Friend driving baseline. Friend out to Rice. Rice wide open 3 off the mark and out of bounds. So now with 9.8 left, Peebles will get one more possession here in the first half.
Yeah, I love the look. I think it's a little too early. I would like to have seen him run it all the way down. Now Peebles going to get another chance.
McClary driving, and a stoppage in play, a carry. Peebles struggling to take care of the basketball. Turnovers proving costly for the Indians.
Yeah, Peebles, a team that like to play fast. Tonight they're probably in a little bit of a hurry.
Rice to inbound, throws it in. Azarak, 3 seconds. Brody Smith beyond half-court heave, too short. And that will bring us to halftime from Leesburg. The Fairfield Lions in control through one half of play. They lead Peebles 34-21 at the break. We'll step aside and give our thoughts on the first half when we return. You're watching Ohio High School basketball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber. Simply brilliant.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
We welcome you back to Fairfield High School, where it's halftime in this shack showdown between the Fairfield Lions and the Peebles Indians. A little halftime shoot-off going on the floor. Fairfield ahead of Peebles 34-21. Lions have just had their foot on the gas in the really majority of the first half, especially later on in the second quarter. That's built them to this 13-point lead. Carson Francis and Shane Combs back with you. Shane, your thumbprint on that first half.
Well, I think first on the Fairfield side, you always know what you're going to get with the 1-2 punch of Griffin Friend and Brody Smith, and they certainly delivered in the first half. It was Friend with 10 of his 12 in the first quarter, and then it was Smith with 10 of his 13 in the second quarter. So those guys have combined for 25 of the 34 that you see on the board there, but understand that the other guys have done a great job. McIntosh, I had it 6:07 in the second quarter. It was 23-17. He had to go to the bench with a second foul. They finished the last 6:07 +5 on the scoreboard. So, Carson, I felt like give a lot of credit to Landon Hoskins, who had come in and given great minutes. Zach Ashrak guarding. Caleb Rice was really good defensively, knocked down the 1-3. So Fairfield certainly getting a balanced attack. And then over on the Peebles side, I like the tempo for them early. They're a team that wants to get up and down and go. I thought they got rushed just a little bit there late second quarter. They started to turn the basketball over a little bit. You still look down, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in the scoring column, which is very normal for them. They're just going to have to clean it up a little bit, and certainly they're the type of team, they're so explosive. A 13-point lead at the half against them is not the same as it would be against some teams, but they're certainly going to have to come back out and settle into the game.
You talked about how Peebles was a little rushed at times in the first half, especially the later stages, had a couple different turnovers that probably would have helped them if they were able to capitalize on those possessions. It'd be a much different ball game if they'd just been able to take care of the basketball on some of those possessions. How does Peebles settle down here as we get set to begin the second half?
Well, I like what you said there at the end, settle down, right? You gotta stay with it. You're right. They had a couple free throws there, then a couple layups, unable to convert. But look, this is a Peebles team that 1 through 7 or 8 on the depth chart, they can really score the basketball. So you just got to lock in on the defensive end, string stops together. They can shoot the three, and as you said, get downhill. Fairfield's doing a pretty good job for the most part going over top of the ball screens. I'd like to see Peebles make the adjustment of turning the quarter and getting downhill, maybe getting some easy twos, or get that drive and kick for a better look at the three-point line. But the ball screen defense when you face Peebles is really good, because if you go underneath it, they're gonna make you they're gonna punish you at the three-point line for sure.
We talked about all throughout the first half the versatility of Griffin Friend for Fairfield, his ability to score, to get downhill, to get those drives, to get to the foul line. But he's also done a great job on the glass and distributing the basketball as well. A lot to like from number 14 in white.
Man, he's really good. We've talked about the great point guard play in our coverage area, and a lot of times some of the point guards at the bigger schools get more of the publicity. Make no mistake about it, this kid's as good as there is in our entire coverage area. He's really, really good. He plays about 31.5 minutes a night, so he never comes off the court. He can score it. He can distribute. He's a big-time defender. What impresses me is he'll guard a guard on one possession, and then he's down guarding Puckett in the post on the next. I mean, you're talking about all the way across the board for Coach Williams. There's not a thing that young man can't do.
And when Peebles at times would key in on him defensively, it let a lot of opportunities for guys like a Brody Smith to get his opportunity on the offense. And it's no doubt he's a leading scorer on this Fairfield team for a reason. He'll make you pay when you leave him open like that.
Well, and I touched on this in the first half. You know what I loved about his game was how locked in he was on the defensive end. Remember his first bucket, he stepped out on the side out of bounds play. He recognized what they were running. He jumped the passing lane, ran it in. Then remember down here closer to us, he was the one that poked it away from behind, got out in the open court. So also giving some defense to his team, creating easy points on the other end. And then obviously once he sees it go through with the free throw line or some easy ones in transition, he can really, really get it going from the perimeter.
Tomorrow, the tournament draw in Divisions 3 through 7 will take place. We'll have the official matchups as each team will map out the road to Dayton as the tournament approaches. Peebles in Division 6. It's highly likely that they will have the 1 seed in the Southeast District and will have a bye into the district semifinal. Those will be March 2nd and March 3rd at the Waverly Downtown Gym. Fairfield currently in the 3rd spot in Division 7. Their district quarterfinal will be right here at Fairfield on February 26th.
Well, and you go into this second half here, right out of the jump. Peebles, remember, is trying to win a share of a title here. So if you're Fairfield, you understand that Peebles is going to come at you in the first 3 or 4 minutes. Coaches always talk about getting off to a good start out of the locker room with adjustments. So I think if you're Fairfield, that's really, really important. You assume McIntosh will return to the court, playing with a little bit of foul trouble. We'll see how on what matchups they use there and how that's going to impact the game.
Peebles looking to chip away, earn a share of the league title with Fayetteville. Fairfield looking to play spoiler, done a great job getting there in the first half. Job's not finished, still another half of basketball to be played. These two met back on December 19th in Peebles. The Indians needed overtime to win that one, 67-63 the final back in December.
Keep in mind what I said about tempo as well. Peebles is a high possession number throughout their games. They get it up and down in a hurry. So look for them to continue to push the tempo. If you're Fairfield, if the early offense isn't there, the ability to run some clock just kind of helps slow the Indians down just a little bit.
What do you look for in this first possession of the second half from Fairfield?
Well, if I'm Fairfield, I want to continue to try to live downhill. That's why you've been successful. Friend and Smith have been able to get downhill to the rim. Friend basically to the left or right hand doing whatever he wants. So that's where the biggest adjustment for Peebles comes is on the defensive end. You've got to get Friend out of the paint.
Griffin Friend brings it up the floor. Second half underway from Leesburg. Here's Quentin McIntosh. Brings it over the middle, dishes it out. Azarak, corner three off the mark. Rebound taken by Paxton Ryan for Peebles. He races up the floor, pulls up from downtown. It's off the mark. Rebound taken by Brody Smith. They'll say landed out of bounds. And possession will stay right here with the Indians.
Yeah, Fairfield ended up running the same exact quick hitter that they started the game with. Remember, Smith got called for the offensive foul. That time, Peebles did a good job protecting the paint.
Connor Gross finds Keegan Puckett down the lane, and Puckett puts it in. Keegan Puckett finds an open spot in the paint and gets the first 2 points of the half for Peebles.
Yeah, nice OB under execution. Puckett now with 4 on the evening.
There's Friend, baseline drive. Friend underneath. He traveled.
Yeah, better job. Even though he got all the way to the rim, notice how it was on the baseline. They were able to close him off a little bit. He wanted to kick it out here to this corner, I think, and then never really got the passing lane to do it.
Brody Smith picking up Connor Gross one-on-one full court. Gross across half court to Paxton Ryan. Ryan dishes to Canelti on the near side wing. Canelti trying to back down Friend. Canelti turnaround blocked by Friend. A loose ball rolls out of bounds. It'll stay with Peebles. Good hustle by Caleb Rice, just couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, again, Friend's versatility on the defensive end. It's been real impressive how many different kinds of offensive players he's been able to guard this evening.
Gross inbounds to Paxton Ryan coming off the screen from Puckett. Ryan back over to Gross. Gross off the screen. Gross thought about the three, dishes to Puckett inside. Puckett working on McIntosh. Gets it out to Bo Johnson. Johnson, baseline drive, the runner, he knocks it down. Bo Johnson's bucket puts it back to single digits.
Yeah, I like how Peebles able to get the ball inside, and then on the inside out, Johnson on the drive.
Smith off the screen, out to McIntosh. Now Rice fires from the corner, too long. Friend the rebound, and Friend the putback. Griffin Friend, right place, right time. Chalks up 2 for the Lions.
Yeah, winning plays. Just that's how you keep the other team from going on runs, making those types of plays.
Johnson out to Canelti in the corner. Lost one up. Puckett inside through his hands. He gets it back. Now Connor Gross with it for Peebles. Gross baseline drive, skip pass. Johnson for 3. It's good. Bo Johnson lets it fly from downtown. Back to an 8-point game.
Yeah, big time look from Gross. Good penetration. Found the shooter opposite on the wing.
Brody Smith with it for Fairfield. This Peebles crowd that made the trip here is now back to life. Brody Smith can't answer with a triple. Gross up the floor over the head of Paxton Ryan.
And again, Peebles plays fast, and that's where you just got to settle down. It wasn't a bad decision. It was just a poor execution of the pass.
Just Griffin Friend walking it up the hardwood. Picked up by Bo Johnson. Friend off the screen. Trying to find someone, dish it out to Brody Smith. Smith out to Rice. Rice, corner 3, no good. It's Puckett with the rebound for Peebles.
Peebles been able to force a lot of role players into some corner threes to start the third quarter. Pretty good job on the defensive glass as well.
Gross on the drive. Gross gets downhill and draws the foul. Connor Gross draws the foul. He'll head to the foul line for the first time tonight.
And it's going to be on McIntosh, so his third foul. So he spent 6:07 on the bench in the second quarter. Now Coach Williams going to have a decision to make here in the third quarter. As of now, it looks like he's going to stay with him.
Connor Gross only 45% from the stripe on the year. Can't connect on the first one. See Quentin Williams just getting some clarification from our officiating crew on the foul against McIntosh. Second shot from Gross is nothing but net.
Good start here for Peebles, back within 7.
A stoppage in play here. We're going to get a warning against the Fairfield bench. Head coach Quentin Williams, again, he was just getting some clarification on the foul call against McIntosh. And the refs just giving him a little warning over on the Fairfield bench. We know Coach Williams to be one of the more passionate coaches in our area. Coaches with a lot of energy. We've seen it all night tonight, even during the JV game when he was on the bench. Brody Smith driving baseline, cut off by Canelti. Throws one up to Griffin Friend. Quickly he gets it back. Friend dishes. Triple from Smith off the mark. Friend the offensive rebound.
Yeah, second offensive rebound by the point guard this quarter. Wins another possession.
Friend driving. Azarak 4-3, knocks it down. Zach Azarak from downtown. Lead back up to 10 for Fairfield.
Yeah, good find from Friend.
Paxton Ryan, turnaround jumper, it falls.
Ryan, obviously a big-time scorer, can make tough shots, hits one there. Back within 6.
39-33. Fairfield still in front. McIntosh off the pick and roll. The nice find from Griffin Friend.
Friend doing a nice job quarterbacking the offense. Fairfield's got to be careful, Carson, on that high ball screen. The guards have got to get a little tighter. They're going to end up getting McIntosh's 4th foul.
Johnson over to Paxton Ryan. Ryan off the screen from Puckett. Now Puckett outside one-on-one with McIntosh. Johnson off the screen. Johnson, the drive. Johnson puts it up and knocks it through. Bo Johnson gets downhill. He's in double figures.
Yeah, Johnson 7 in the quarter, 14 on the night.
Smith, the baseline drive and the foul.
Wow.
Brody Smith blows past the defender, goes baseline and gets the and one.
Yeah, big time finish through contact. It's been a physical night. And I like how Smith just continues to play, doesn't really show much emotion toward the officials, just plays right through the contact, and that was a big time move.
Shot from Smith, he knocks it in to complete the and one. 44-33. Fairfield in front. Gross off 2 feet, can't connect. Rebound taken Brody Smith. Smith off the screen, kicks it out. Caleb Rice in the corner. Now Smith, a contested 3 off the mark. McIntosh the offensive board. And a timeout called by Quentin Williams. It's a full timeout. We'll take it with the Lions as they lead 44-33. As you see the ESPN booth in the Fairfield student section. You're watching Ohio High School basketball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
2:55 left in the third quarter. As Fairfield used a timeout. They lead 44-33 on Peebles. As they look to spoil the Indians' opportunity at a share for the Shack title.
Yeah, I love the way Peebles was able to come out of the locker room, and then to Fairfield's credit, they've kind of weathered the storm here, back up 11.
Griffin Friend inbound from the sideline. He throws it into Caleb Rice. Azrak sets a nice screen, dribble handoff to Brody Smith. Colin Sims back into the action for Peebles, and he commits the foul.
Yeah, Sims, a big-time defender, big-time energy guy, just nothing intentional there, just followed through, got him there. But again, if you're Coach Airy, that's why he's on the floor. You want him to try to pick your energy up a little bit.
Friend inbound once again. Good defense by McCleary, forcing Friend to throw it into the backcourt. Smith, the drive, kick out. Rice for 3, that's no good. Sims high points the rebound, pushing up the floor. Connor Gross, Bo Johnson underneath, can't handle it, and it's out of bounds. Fairfield possession.
When again, there's not one thing more important when you're playing against Peebles than your transition defensive effort, and give Fairfield credit there. They were able to get back and just get enough of a hand on the basketball.
Less than 2.5 to go here in the third quarter. Friend across the timeline. Finds a wide open Azrak, now Brody Smith. Baseline drive, Smith off the glass, can't finish. The ball knocked out of bounds, it'll go to Peebles.
Yeah, I think McIntosh knocked it out on the offensive glass there, and thought Fairfield missed an opportunity to get an easy layup off the pressure. I don't think Azrak realized that he was all alone down under the rim.
Connor Gross across the midcourt line, dishes it to Bo Johnson, one-on-one with Caleb Rice. Puckett, mid-post. Puckett picks up his dribble on the block, finds a cutting Bo Johnson. Johnson, the jumper off the mark. Friend the rebound for Fairfield. Tried to fire to Rice, up the floor, it's out of bounds, and they'll say it'll go to Peebles. They said Rice was the last to touch it.
Yeah, Friend's decision-making's been really good tonight. The former point guard in me, probably that's his first decision of the night I haven't agreed with. You know what I mean? That you're 151 there, up 11, late quarter situation, but nonetheless going to go back over to Peebles.
Peebles looking to cut into this 11-point deficit. They dish it over to Josh McClary and an offensive foul on Peebles. It'll go against Keegan Puckett. His first of the night, but one that gives Fairfield the ball back. As Puckett will come off the floor, Grady Canelti back into the action for Peebles.
Peebles will continue to pick up in the full court here.
Friend across the timeline. Friend driving past Groves. Friend, the tough basket off the glass, and he draws the foul, head to the free throw line. I'll give the foul to Connor Gross, his third.
Friend got off to the fast start, scoring tonight, 10 in the first quarter. Had 12 at halftime, sitting on 14 right now. He's been more of a playmaker here in this third quarter.
First shot from Friend. He connects. Paxton Ryan back into the game for Peebles, replacing Connor Gross.
Important 124, situational basketball. Got to finish the quarter strong.
Griffin Friend goes 2 for 2 from the line, 46-33 Fairfield. Colin Sims drives past Hoskins and a foul.
Have some fouls to give here, so it's just going to be underneath. Now, they said he got below the free throw line, so they're going to put him OB under.
It'll be Sims to inbound out of the stack for Peebles. Paxton Ryan with it for the Indians, working on Brody Smith. The drive by Ryan off the mark on the layup. Left it a little long. Fairfield up the floor. Azurak thought about it, gives it up to Griffin Friend. Friend the drive, and he's fouled by Paxton Ryan. No shot. The foul was on the floor. We'll give the foul to Paxton Ryan.
Gonna put him back on the free throw line there. Pretty good decision from Azurak there. He had a decent look in the corner. It would have been a little bit rushed. It turned it down, and on the kickback, he was able to give Friend the driving opportunity.
Friend knocks down his first. He's 67% from the stripe on the season.
Perfect on all 5 chances tonight. I'll apologize to him in advance if I jinx him.
Well, not yet. He goes 2 for 2 on that trip. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. A 15-point lead for the Fairfield Lions. Sims driving, kicks it out to Paxton Ryan. Ryan over to Josh McClary. McClary drives middle. McClary off 2 feet, off the front iron. Offensive rebound, Canelti back out. McClary for 3, it's good. Josh McClary sinks the triple. Back down to a 12-point game.
We talked about situational basketball. Here's one of them. You don't want to give Peebles another possession in the quarter.
Friend the drive, Rice for 3. Rice can't connect. McClary the rebound. McClary pushing it, nice dish. Canelti, the reverse layup, too strong. Rebound taken, Brody Smith, and a steal knocked away. McClary, it's out of bounds. 9.7 seconds left. Lions had the length of the floor to go.
Yeah, big time dodge of a bullet there. If you're Fairfield, you take the shot really quick in the time and score. Peebles with the layup opportunity on the other end, unable to get it to go.
Here's Friend. One-on-one with Johnson, 5 to go. Friend inside through contact, draws the foul.
Carson, we talked at halftime about Friend just getting downhill. He gets the step on you, Then he's really good with his body. He gets into the official. And right now he's just living at the free throw line. This will be his 5th and 6th free throw attempts just here in the third quarter.
First shot on this trip from Friend off the mark. Though he's perfect from the line, no more. Just Josh McClary comes back in for Peebles, replacing Colin Sims.
2 seconds remaining here, so if he does make it, Peebles step out of bounds, could advance it pretty far here, maybe get a look.
One final shot for Peebles. They roll it up the floor to Gross. Gross dishes to McClary. They don't get a shot off in time. And that'll send us to the fourth quarter. Fairfield still in front, 49-36. 3 quarters down and 1 to go. Stay right here. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Three quarters down and 1 to go from Leesburg. An energetic game all around sees us at a 49-36 lead for the Fairfield Lions. Peebles has 1 quarter left to play and a 13-point deficit to climb out of if they want to have a chance at a share of the Shack 2 title. Gross, backdoor cut McClary, had trouble receiving it. Brings it back out to Grady Canelti.
Yeah, great quick hitter out of the huddle, and again, just the inability to pass and catch. The layup was there.
Canelti, one-on-one, gets past McIntosh, goes up and draws the foul.
See if they get McIntosh or if they get Smith on the help. That's McIntosh's 4th if they do.
They'll give it to Brody Smith, only his 2nd. So you'll take that if you're Fairfield.
Yeah, McIntosh was challenging up top. Smith was coming through with the swipe. They said Smith got him.
I'll send Grady Canelti to the free throw line, where he knocks down his first. You know, Shane, Peebles' first loss of the season came at home to Eastern Brown. They trailed by as many as 16. They took the lead late before a last-second shot by Eastern Brown gave the Warriors a win there. And we know Peebles is capable of coming back from these big deficits. See how they respond in this fourth quarter.
No question, as I said at halftime, they can score in bunches. This is the end it's got to happen on, and they've got to figure out a way to keep Friend under control.
McIntosh with the easy bucket inside. Quentin McIntosh has had a quiet night on the scoreboard, but when you leave him open inside, he'll make you pay.
Yeah, Griffin Friend's having a master class in terms of point guard play tonight. It's been outstanding.
There's Bo Johnson, one-on-one with Caleb Rice. Johnson dishes to Connor Gross, baseline drive, Canelti. Canelti down the paint, reverse layup, can't finish. Offensive rebound, Bo Johnson. Johnson, the ankle breaker, the runner's no good. Brody Smith, the rebound, and a travel. He said there was contact on the rebound. He fell forward, and the officials called that a travel.
Yeah, great effort from Johnson to win another possession, and then now Peebles going to get one underneath.
Gross to inbound, throws it to Josh McClary. McClary, the Euro step, what a finish by Josh McClary. Some nifty driving work.
Yeah, big time move.
And a steal by Connor Gross. Gross across half court. Gross to the basket, slices it off the backboard. Brody Smith with the rebound. Fairfield trying to slow things down, but he's fouled on the trap by Connor Gross.
We talked about Fairfield not being as deep. The backcourt averaging over 31 minutes a night. Tonight, I don't think they've been off the court. This is the time of the game where that starts to show up here.
Keegan Puckett re-enters the game for the Indians. They'll match him up with the big man on the other side, Quentin McIntosh.
Peebles will look to really turn the pressure up here.
Friend up the floor, gets past McCleary. Friend to the basket, in the tough basket. Griffin Friend, some strongman basketball.
Now with 21 on the evening.
Leading all scorers on the night. Gross dishes to Puckett, high post. Puckett through traffic, off the glass and in. And a timeout called by Peebles. With 6:07 remaining, it's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Keegan Puckett answers with the basket inside for the Indians, still trailing by 11.
Yeah, I really like Puckett as a freshman. The patience he shows, doesn't get in a big hurry down there. He has really good feet, the ability to finish. And, you know, look, if you're Peebles, you're back to 11 here. You're going to start to apply the pressure. I know it's a broken record, but it's really been the difference in the basketball game. Peebles is having trouble speeding Fairfield up because they can't get Friend under control. He's just lived downhill to the rim. They've got to figure out a way to maybe send an extra guy or something, but they've got to get the ball out of his hands and maybe try to force another Lion into making a play.
You still got guys like Brody Smith's got 16, the second leading scorer, but then you've got guys like Caleb Rice, Zach Azarak, Quentin McIntosh, who are still in single digits in the scoring column. We know that they're capable of getting points, but it's just a matter of, can Peebles make Fairfield go to those other guys on the floor?
Yeah, no, I'm not even necessarily talking about making them take shots or whatever. I'm talking about make someone else handle the basketball and make a play.
There's Griffin Friend through traffic, gets it up the floor. Azarak tried to swing over to Rice. It's deflected, and Rice gets it. And Quentin Williams now will burn a 30-second timeout.
Well, and again, I think Coach Williams understands the importance of this next 90 seconds or so, not to let the Peebles pressure take over the game. And that time they were able to trap Friend in the backcourt, and he was able to give it up. And you're able to see Peebles start to get some deflections here. So if you're Peebles, you're just trying to make the game as crazy as possible so that you can get as many possessions as possible over the final 5:57.
See head coach Quentin Williams coaching up his team for these final 5:57. Coach Williams, in a short time as head coach at Fairfield, has coached in a lot of big games, taking them on a lot of tournament runs. These games are no different. He knows how to manage these types of high-pressure situations and trying to do so right here. Griffin Friend to inbound for Fairfield, throws it up to Caleb Rice. Hands it off back to Friend, guarded by Bo Johnson. Friend on the drive, out to Rice, 4-3 off the mark, and a long rebound, won by. There's a tie-up for it. It's a jump ball possession, arrow pointing to Fairfield. Thought like they were gonna have the long offensive rebound initially. Good contest by Peebles to force the tie-up. But at the end of the day, it'll stay with the Lions.
Yeah, good help on the drive there. Forced the kick and the three-point shot, but then you got to be able to wrap it up with the defensive board.
Friend inbound, throws one up into the backcourt for Brody Smith. Smith over to Caleb Rice. Friend setting the screen. Rice driving the spin, lost the ball. Taken away by Keegan Puckett. Puckett going middle, dishes to Johnson. Johnson goes up, can't finish the layup. Friend the long rebound for Fairfield. Up the floor, Azarak. Fairfield with a 3-on-2. They'll slow things down.
Yeah, Peebles felt like there was a lot of contact on the other end there. Probably have to agree with them.
There's Friend driving behind the back, kicks it out to Caleb Rice. Rice back to Friend on the far side wing.
Yeah, good patience there. That's what I talk about. Don't settle. Make sure you run the clock, get the good look.
Smith the drive, and he draws the foul.
And it's all possible because you turn down the okay look, continue to run the clock, and then get an elite look downhill with the defense at a disadvantage. Again, that's certainly a foul there. I think the frustration for Peebles comes on the other end where they felt like Johnson was hit on the shot.
First shot from Brody Smith is off the mark.
Carter Smith working on a 16-point night, now 17.
Goes 1 for 2 at the line there, 54-42. Fairfield in front, 4:50 to go in this ball game. Connor Gross on the drive, off the glass, too strong. Rebound, McIntosh throws it over to Brody Smith.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the look, just couldn't get it to go.
McIntosh, top of the key, out to Friend. Far side wing, Fairfield trying to spoil Peebles' bid at a share of the league title. As Connor Gross commits the foul on Brody Smith. And it looks like that's going to be 5 fouls on Connor Gross. His night is done. Colin Sims will come onto the floor for Peebles to replace him.
Yeah, Gross 1 for 2 from the free throw line on the night, had the 1 point.
Friend to inbound, got to find somebody. Lost one up for Brody Smith. Smith, the floater, too short. A rebound taken by Bo Johnson, spin cycle. Johnson lost the handle, taken away by Griffin Friend. Friend up the floor, Smith pump fakes underneath and the finish. Brody Smith was still on the ground after the missed layup. He gets back up. By the time he's up, Griffin Friend is thrown in the basketball. He cashes in.
Yeah, he took a big-time shot on the rebound, and as he was getting up, Friend had poked it away on the other end and kind of worked out their advantage.
Paxton Ryan, pull-up jumper, knocks it down. Paxton Ryan connects from the foul line.
Ryan now with 7, hasn't had a whole lot of looks, that time able to get free.
This Peebles crowd that made the trip here to Fairfield, trying to keep their team in it. Brody Smith from downtown, it's good. Brody Smith from deep. 15-point lead, 22 for Brody Smith. McClary trying to answer with a triple, it's off the mark. McIntosh the rebound. McIntosh up to Caleb Rice, Azrak with it. He picks it up, and a timeout called by Fairfield.
Yeah, great catch from Rice over on the side to avoid the turnover, and then they come down. Fairfield going to use the timeout, up 15 now, 3:13 to play, and complete control of this one if they would execute down the stretch here. Probably going to have to convert a lot from the free throw line eventually.
15-point lead for Fairfield. Brody Smith knocked down that last tray. He now leads all scorers with 22.
Yeah, he's a big-time scorer. We talked about that in the pregame if you weren't with us. Shoots it up around 40% from the three-point line, 70% from the free throw line. Much improved off the dribble, much improved on the defensive end as he's coming up on the end of his junior year. He's going to end up posting some big-time numbers before he walks out of here next year.
He played some big minutes for the Lions last season, a district runner-up in D7, filling his shoes of a team that won a district title the year before that. So he comes in as a sophomore, plays a lot of varsity minutes, filling the roles of the players that won a district title the year before. And now that season full of experience has continued to carry over into this season, where he's looking to, again, lead the Lions on another deep tournament run. He's had an excellent night tonight.
Well, and that's a great way you put that, because that stuff cycles through. You start to learn from the people who come before you, and then now there's young Lions learning from Smith as he's doing it now as the leader.
Brody Smith chases it down in the backcourt. One-on-one with Josh McClary. Griffin Friend far side, brings it up the middle across half court. A Friend trap, step through, gets it into Smith. Another three from Smith, he knocks it down. Brody Smith on fire from outside. Back-to-back triples.
And I laugh because time and score, I don't even know if you need them, but when you can shoot it like that, you start to see it go through, why not?
Johnson on the other end, can't finish. Rebound fought for and won by Quentin McIntosh. Friend up to Smith, now Caleb Rice in the corner. Back to Smith. A start the buses chant shut down by Coach Williams. Said job's not finished. Smith on the drive, Rice in the corner. Rice, baseline drive, falling away, knocks it through. Largest lead of the night for Fairfield after the basket from Caleb Rice. 64-44 Lions. Puckett from downtown, he hits it. Keegan Puckett answers with a triple. Timeout, Peebles. It's a full timeout. We'll quickly take it with them. 2:03 remaining. Fairfield ahead, 64-47. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
2:03 remaining here in Leesburg. The Fairfield Lions are in control of Peebles, 64-47. Peebles able to chip back into the deficit after the triple from Keegan Puckett. But Fairfield 2:03 away from spoiling what would have been a league title clinching game for Peebles.
Yeah, no question. They've answered every response that Peebles has had to this point. Now 2:03 away.
Friend got to get it in. He finds Zach Azarek, try to give it back to Friend, and it's poked away. 2 seconds burn off the clock. Fairfield will reset.
Again, if you're Fairfield in these situations, you got to step to every pass and catch it strong. Expect contact.
Azarek with it for the Lions, dishes it to Griffin Friend. Friend back to Azarek across the timeline. Brody Smith with it, now Caleb Rice in the corner. Rice trying to get it to a teammate. Lost it, and it's out of bounds. I'll say Rice was the last to touch it.
Again, good job of Peebles getting the ball out of Friend's hands and then trying to pressure. They got to go quick here.
Josh McClary across half court. Off the screen from Johnson. McClary trying to get downhill, and he draws the foul.
See if they put him in the act of shooting here. I thought he was getting ready to go up.
I'll credit Azarek with the foul. And that'll send Josh McClary to the charity stripe.
2 free throws to cut it back to 15 here, and they'll get right back in the pressure.
First one from McClary, rolls around and finds the bottom of the net.
McClary now with 11.
Second shot from Josh McClary, same sequence. And it's back down to 15 after the pair of charity shots from Josh McClary. Friend up the floor for Smith, taken away by the Indians. McClary with the steal. Sims, corner three, he banks it in. Colin Sims uses the glass for the trifecta. Timeout, Peebles. They're out of timeouts with 1:29 remaining. Indians not going down quietly.
Yeah, Fairfield tried to throw it over the top there, and nice athletic play, and then they get the quick response, so all the way back to 12. Friend taking the ball out of bounds. If you're Peebles, if you're unable to get a steal, I think you want to really try to make it difficult for him to get it back. And then at that point, once you get the ball out of his hands, you've had some success getting some pressure.
Griffin Friend, 21 on the night for Fairfield. You know, we talked about all night how he's done an excellent job handling the ball, playing the role of point guard very well. It's going to come down to whether or not Peebles, again, like you talked about, make someone else handle the ball and see what you can do on defense.
No question, and you also want to look to your scouting report here. Look at your free throw shooting percentages. Who is it that you want to put on the line? Because we're getting closer to that. They still have the one foul to give, but somewhere down the stretch here for Peebles to come all the way back, it's probably going to involve the foul game. So you look down at the shooting percentages. If McIntosh would catch it, that's someone you would want to maybe foul if you're Peebles. But again, still got the one foul to give, so you're going for the steal here right away.
It'll be Rice to inbound to Friend. Friend doubled. Friend gets it up to Caleb Rice. Now Brody Smith across half court. Smith lost the dribble and it's out of bounds. Peebles basketball.
Yeah, nice adjustment from Fairfield. They brought Friend into the play rather than having him inbound it, so he was able to take on that first trap. Quick turnover, Peebles right back in possession.
McClary lets it roll. Azrak dove for it. McClary rushes up the floor. McClary pull-up three, knocks it down. Josh McClary's got it under 10 with the triple. .90 run for the Indians.
So that's the fourth foul. So now you're in a situation where if you're Peebles, you have the possession arrow. So to me, as you're attacking the basketball, you look for opportunities to tie it up. And now you also get in a little bit of that foul situation. If one of the guys that catch it that you would want to put on the line, you may go ahead and use a foul.
Friend to inbound, finds McIntosh short corner, and he's fouled almost right away by Keegan Puckett.
And again, it's just good situational basketball because you don't have a whole lot of time to waste. You got to make the quick decision, and I think that Peebles was prepared there. And now if you're McIntosh, you're going to the line trying to convert.
First one from McIntosh is up, and he knocks it down.
Big time delivery from the senior on our sheet here. Only shoots at 39% from the line. But boy, was that a big make.
Second one from McIntosh off the back of the rim. Puckett the rebound. Under a minute to go here in Leesburg. McClary, corner three off the mark. Friend the rebound for Fairfield, and he's fouled right away. 52.7 to go. Friend will head back to the free throw line.
Yeah, good rebound, good strong possession coming down. You know you're going to take the contact. And now Friend at the line. He's working on, let's see here, unofficially a 21-point night on my sheet.
First one from Griffin. Friend falls. Lions have it back up to double digits. 22 now for Griffin Friend. Our individual scoring on that scoreboard you see here in the gym, our view's a little obstructed, so we just got to trust Shane's scorekeeping.
Oh boy.
McClary trapped, tried to get it to Canelti. It's deflected, recovered back by McClary. Paxton Ryan driving the runner off the glass and in. Paxton Ryan knocks down the floater back to 10. Griffin Friend got it, and he's fouled immediately on the catch.
Yeah, trying to take the touch away, but he was pulling the jersey on the denial.
Send Friend back to the line. Sound like a broken record saying that, but I think that's just a testament to the effort he's put forth tonight, which is why his team is now leading by 11 late.
I've got him 10 of 11 at the free throw line. This will be his 12th toss from the charity stripe on the evening.
Fairfield sending everyone back. Second shot from Friend falls. 69-57. McClary across half court. Tried to fire to Johnson in the corner. Good deflection by Caleb Rice. Indians will reset the possession. 28.5 to go.
Yeah, nice job here. And again, if you're Fairfield, you still got a couple fouls to give. So as long as they're on the dribble, you can stay aggressive. Just don't want to foul in the act of shooting.
Long three from McClary's nothing but net. Josh McClary sinks another triple. Back under 10. And Brody Smith is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, now you're going to need Fairfield's help at the free throw line the rest of the way out. If you're Peebles, you may get 3 more possessions, but the problem is if he makes one of these, you're going to need more than that, and they're simply going to run out of time.
First one from Smith, he knocks it down. He's 70% on the year coming in. He's got 26 on the night for Fairfield. Second one is up and good. 71-60 Lions. McClary over to Paxton Ryan, back to McClary. McClary step back, launches a corner three. It's off the mark. McIntosh the rebound. And Friend will dribble out the clock. That's going to do it from Leesburg. The Lions are spoilers tonight on their home floor. They knock off the Peebles Indians 71-60 and rob Peebles of a chance at a SHAC title.
That's a big-time performance on the offensive end tonight. Come up against Peebles, you know you got to score a little bit just because they're going to do it on the offensive end. They put 71 on the board tonight. That's an impressive performance led by Smith and Friend.
Lions improved to 12-6 overall, 9-3 in the SHAC. Peebles drops to 17-3 and 10-3 in league play. We'll step aside and give our final thoughts on this one from Leesburg. Fairfield comes out on top of Peebles 71-60. You're watching Ohio High School basketball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm James.
We want to thank you for continuing to make the Root Sports and Fitness Center your headquarters for youth sports in Southern Ohio.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Back here at Fairfield High School, your final score from Leesburg. The Lions come out on top of Peebles 71-60 to improve to 12-6 overall, 9-3 in league play. Fairfield robs Peebles of a chance to tie Fayetteville for the league title, which now means that head coach Joby Stewart and the Fayetteville Perry Rockets are outright SHAC 2 champions in 2026.
Well, yeah, and that's a really good basketball team down there at Fayetteville as well. And when you look at really the top 4 to 5 teams in the SHAC, I've been real impressed with them throughout the year. And look, we had come in here tonight and we knew it'd be a big time matchup. Anytime the top teams in the SHAC get together, that's what you get. And great atmosphere. Fairfield got out quick. I thought Peebles tried to answer a little bit. I thought they got rattled a little bit in the second quarter. But to Peebles' credit, they come back out in the third. They made a run early. I think they got it back to 39-33, but then give Fairfield credit because they were able to withstand it and end up getting control of it and rolling down the stretch.
The storyline for Fairfield, and why would we expect anything less, but Brody Smith and Griffin Friend combined for 52 of Fairfield's 71 points tonight. Excellent night for that pair of juniors, a dynamic duo that is going to give Fairfield a lot of hope to look forward to, not only for the tournament, but for next season as well. Brody Smith got hot from beyond the arc down the stretch in the second half, built a big lead for Fairfield that they were able to hold on to.
Yeah, no question about it. When you look at Smith with 27, Friend with 25, I guess what jumps out at me the most, Carson, is the ability to get to the free throw line. Griffin, Friend, 11 of 12 on the evening. Smith, 8 of 11. And then they got just enough from the other guys. 7 from McIntosh. Keep in mind his minutes were way down the night because of the early foul trouble. I know he sat, I know for sure he sat the last 6:07 of the second quarter. And then 5 for Zach Asarak, and then 2 for Hoskins, and 5 for Caleb Rice. And he had also hit a triple. So, again, a nice balanced effort. Also give credit on Hoskins coming in with the 2. I thought he played good minutes there in the second quarter to help preserve the lead going into the locker room.
And looking over for Peebles, definitely had their chances to get back within striking distance. Went on a crazy run in the last about 2 minutes of the ball game, just a little too little, too late. But again, we know that this Indian squad isn't going to give up till the final whistle. Just some things that they can take out of this game going into their final game of the regular season and then into the tournament.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is to understand that when the game gets going a little bit chaotic the way they like it, they still have to play clean basketball. I thought in the second quarter, you know the old basketball saying, play fast, don't hurry. I thought that was a perfect example of it tonight. Peebles wants to play fast. We watched them in the fourth quarter when they were trying to come back. It's impressive. They've got kids that can really score. You go up and down the roster, and you'll see season highs from 6-7 guys well in the double figures, so they can score it. But you still have to make sure that you're taking care of the basketball. I thought in the second quarter they got a little sloppy with it. They missed opportunities in the open court. And then they struggled to get to the free throw line as many times. And scoring just became a little bit more difficult than they're used to. I think they come in and average around 73 a night. They only get to 60. And I think probably the turnover category is where they'll look back on it and know that they probably cost themselves too many looks there in the first half.
Well, looking ahead for both of these teams, the tournament draw is tomorrow afternoon. I'm sure, Shane, you and John will have a lot to talk about that on this week's episode of Overtime presented by Perfection One. Both of these teams will look to make a push deep into the tournament. Peebles Division 6, Fairfield in Division 7. Let's take a look at what lies ahead in the rest of the regular season. As of right now, Peebles just one regular season game remaining next Friday when they host the Indians of Western, a team we got to see a week ago at the SOSA Basketball Classic. For Fairfield, got some games to make up, but some good challenges before they get into the postseason. They're back here on Tuesday to round out league play against a really good North Adams team to round out Shack play. Should be another exciting atmosphere here in Leesburg for that one. They then travel to Hillsborough on Friday before wrapping up the regular season a week from tonight against Valley right here at home.
Well, what jumps out at me is I look at who they've been playing here over the last week or two, who they're playing here tonight, who you're reading off their upcoming. You know, you would probably in that D7, you correct me if I'm wrong, they would probably have to get almost to the district final before they would meet that level of competition. That's not to say you can't get beat by anybody, but I'm saying that in terms of being battle tested, Fairfield's certainly going to be that based on who they have played and who they are going to play leading up to that.
Well, certainly a great time to be a basketball fan in Southeast Ohio. The tournament draw tomorrow, and we're looking forward to bringing you coverage of postseason basketball all throughout the latter stages of February as we get into the madness that comes when the calendar turns to March. Certainly a great time as always. Looking ahead to our coverage here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority. Be on the lookout tomorrow night for the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Collins Show with John Bruce and Matt Hoops, talking to coaches from all around our coverage area. Should be a great show tomorrow night as always. And then early next week we'll have Overtime presented by Perfection One. Shane with you and John talking about what's been going on in our coverage area in all winter sports action. And then our next live stream will come Tuesday night from Circleville as the Circleville Tigers look to clinch a mid-state league title at home against Fairfield Union.
Yeah, great matchup. It's my understanding Circleville hasn't won one of those in a long time, and so that'll be a good one. I know you and John will have that one correct, and then I'm looking forward to being with Kenneth later next week.
Yeah, it's Shane, you and Kenneth will have Wellston and Ross County Christian Academy next Thursday at the Shoemaker Center at Ohio University Chillicothe. A great week of coverage for our stream team. As always, one final thought before we wrap up from this game.
Well, for our Peebles listeners tonight, I don't know if we ever did go over the actual scoring. Josh McClary had 10 of his 18 there in the fourth quarter as Peebles tried to come back. 14 for Bo Johnson, 9 apiece for Paxton Ryan and Keegan Puckett. Real impressed with the freshman Puckett. And then, 4 for Canute and 5 for Sims, and then 1 for Gross who fouled out. But if I'm Peebles, I think you can learn a lot from this. Look, this is going to sting a little bit. Anytime you have a chance to share a title and you don't get it done, That'll sit with you a little bit. But I think they can use it in the right way. They can use it as fuel over the next week or two. This is a really, really dangerous team in the tournament because they're deep. They can score it. They pressure the ball well. If they just take care of the basketball, they're going to be really difficult to defend come tournament time, and could be a tournament run in their future.
Well, one final time from Leesburg, the Fairfield Lions knock off the Peebles Indians 71-60. They rob Peebles of a chance to share the Shack 2 title, and Fayetteville takes the Shack 2 title outright. From Kenneth Hay, our cameraman, and Shane Combs, I'm Carson Francis. We thank you for tuning in to tonight's presentation of Ohio High School basketball presented by Ohio Health.